Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third edition of Packer News Quarantine Edition. I'm Derek. Lysol has made an announcement that they do not want anyone using the disinfectant as a tool to kill the virus. This can be dangerous for the body if you do this. Instead, the CDC recommends using soap and water or bleach to kill the virus. Rubbing alcohol that's at least 70% alcohol will also kill it on surfaces. 60% for your hands. Local delivery services have been very important during these times. They not only reduce contact with another person, but they provide a cheap and wide range of options for food. Here's Chris Bokai with more information on the various restaurants you can order from.
During this time of Corona, many different restaurants are still open, and you can only really get food through delivery or carry out. Space Aliens, I know, is doing delivery, and I believe the delivery fee is like $1. Qdoba and Chipotle are allowing you to either order online and then you walk in and pick it up, or you can walk into the actual restaurant itself, order your food, but you don't get to sit down and eat inside. Same thing with Five Guys and Texas Roadhouse as well. And then with Sicky's Garage, with your order you get one roll of toilet paper. It's pretty cool. And there's other different restaurants, and some restaurants aren't listed on this website, so you might have to do some research, but most restaurants are listed. And you can go to fargomoorhead.org.
Thank you. The ozone has been repairing itself in other news. After the large sums of CFC or chlorofluorocarbons were released into the atmosphere in the 1980s, this made a big hole appear in the ozone layer, which started to rapidly melt Antarctica, which speeds up climate change. But now the hole has been completely replaced. This is known to be because of the polar vortex. Here's Jeremy Sabata with the weekly weather.
On Monday, the high will be 61 degrees with a low of 43 degrees, and it will be mostly cloudy. On Tuesday, the high will be 55 degrees, the low will be 39 degrees, and it will be cloudy. On Wednesday, the high will be 60 degrees, low will be 40 degrees, and it will be mostly cloudy. On Thursday, it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 61 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. And on Friday, it'll still be mostly cloudy with a high of 62 degrees and a low of 41 degrees.
Thank you, Jeremy. We would like to congratulate Mr. Limke for being the next activities director for the Cheyenne High School. Mr. Limke earned his master's degree in school administration at Northern State University. He began his career in education in 1990 as a social studies teacher at Bishop Ryan Catholic School in Minot, North Dakota. Congrats. For some teachers with more hands-on approach, online learning has been a big stride. Here's Corbin Hosey with more on that.
All right. So how has online learning affected your teaching style?
It's affecting my teaching style a lot because I teach guitar and it's really hard to do that online. And because a lot of my students don't have a guitar even at home, their guitar is still at school. There's a limit to what I can do, but we're finding ways.
Is there a way they could get their guitar? Or is it kind of closed off?
I've offered now to bring them their guitar if they send me a message, but I'm not getting a lot of response to that. I think a lot of kids are a little bit overwhelmed with everything they've got to do, and maybe having their guitar come home with them is a bridge too far for some of them. I'm not sure.
So have you been able to do different kinds of assignments that has been enabled to you from working from home and all that?
Yeah, what we do instead is I do an assignment each week on Tuesday, which I have always done with my guitar students, even when you were my guitar student, Corbin, the YouTube Tuesday assignment. So I make a video about a famous guitar player or an important guitar player that I would like them to learn about. And then I just give them an assignment where they have to answer some questions about that video and what they learned and what they're thinking. So I do that each Tuesday, and most of them have been doing that. And then on Thursdays, I give them an assignment called Thursday Activity, where usually I just let them choose an activity of their own, something that will make them a better guitar player or a better musician. And then they just do it, tell me what they did and what they learned. So they just get a little quiz, and that's been working pretty well too.
All right. What have you been listening to recently?
Listening to, well, I've been searching for just the right thing to do for our next YouTube Tuesday for this week. So last night I was checking out the Eagles, and who else was I checking out? Uh, Gosh, I'm trying to remember who it was. I was searching for, oh, Prince. Yeah, I was looking at some Prince videos and some Eagles videos, and I think we're going to do the Eagles. The Eagles have the number one selling album of all time, ever, Eagles' Greatest Hits. And we've never really studied anything from that album, so I think we're going to do that. So I'm mostly doing stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. What is one thing that you miss that you would like to do after social distancing is over and businesses start to open up back up again?
Okay, well, I miss going to restaurants just in the real world, but more than that, I miss my students and I miss my colleagues and I miss my friends. I'm I'm seeing them online. We're doing lots of video chats and things like that, but I want to give people a high five or a hug, and I can't do that. I haven't had a high five or a hug since March 16th, and that kind of stinks. I'm missing that.
Been such a long time.
Yep.
Uh, have you started any new hobbies?
Not new hobbies, uh, but I'm renewing some hobbies I hadn't been doing as much. I've been reading a lot more than I used to. For the first couple weeks of quarantine, I was practicing electric guitar quite a bit. I hadn't been doing much of that, so that's good. I'm able to golf more now than I used to because, our hours are flexible. So the other day, even on a school day, I went golfing in the morning and then I came home and did my office hours and correcting and things. And that was kind of cool. So nothing really new, just kind of renewing or enhancing some things I used to do but haven't had as much time for.
Anyways,
It's
so you said about like how some students like can't get a guitar. What do you do for them? Like, do you just do the YouTube thing for them? Like the
Yeah, well, the Thursday activity I was talking to you about uh, has options. Like one of the things they can choose to do is just practice a song and then tell me about it, tell me what they learned and how it went. So probably half of my students are doing that, and that's great. But then once you don't have a guitar at home, they can watch a YouTube video of like top 20 guitar intros of all time, or they can try to use GarageBand on their iPads. Some of my students are getting into that and learning about music that way. There are other options that they could do. So as long as they've still got their iPad and they have internet access, all my students are able to participate in some way.
That's good. So I know how you like usually were you able to teach them how to like fix like their classical guitar, like restring it before
Oh,
quarantine?
no, and I actually usually don't teach that in class. Um, it's complicated enough that having all of them gather around me and see what I'm doing tends to like bore some of them and they just stop paying attention. So I've tried it a few times in the past and it didn't seem like a great idea. So whenever a kid needs their guitar restrung, I just do it for them, or I tell them they can go to a guitar store, or of course, you can learn to do almost anything on YouTube. So I think a lot of them would just look it up on YouTube if they wanted to do it themselves. And I've had a few students do that.
Well, is there anything else you want to tell the students that are like at home during quarantine?
Sure. Well, we just really miss them. I mean, there are some definite silver linings about this whole thing. I'm sleeping in every day. That's kind of cool, and I can choose to do my work at a time that's convenient for me. And a lot of my students have told me the same, that they really appreciate that. But what really misses what we're really missing is what I told you before, the social interaction and supporting each other and just chatting. I mean, I'm able to chat with my students a little bit during office hours and through chat in Schoology, but it's just not the same. I just really miss them. I miss being around students that aren't even my students. And I think they feel that way about some of their teachers and just people around the school. It's just really weird. I hope that they will stay responsible and do what they're supposed to do in school, but also in society. I mean, it's really hard to stay away from your friends and to not hang out with them all the time, but we're just not supposed to do that. I'm avoiding my friends too, and I hate it, but I don't want to be in quarantine for the next 3 years. So the sooner we can kind of stop the spread and flatten the curve, the sooner we can get back to sort of normal. So I'm encouraging them to get their work done and to do what our government keeps telling us to do.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me.
You bet. You bet. I will hopefully see you back in school someday, Corbin.
Yes. Hopefully not restarting senior year, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
How will West Fargo High School do its ACT retesting? Well, here's Mason Williams with that.
Hello, Packers. The April 4th ACT test has been rescheduled to June 13th. ACT has sent out an email to all students who have registered for that date, informing them and instructing them how to reschedule. The ACT test can be rescheduled to June 13th test session or to future dates. ACT will not automatically register those impacted of the rescheduling, so make sure you go ahead and do that. Those who cannot make it to future test dates or wish to not reschedule may have their April 4th fee refunded. Any questions, please refer to act.org or the mail or email you have received from ACT. If you wish to get into contact, you can call, email, or have a live chat with them, all which can be found on the ACT.org website.
Thanks, Mason. A special thank you to Joanne Steidel, Marilee Brewer, Amy Peterson, and Rachel Agri for sewing more than 150 face masks for essential personnel at West Fargo Public Schools. That is impressive. Next up, we have the Packer Pride Staff of the Month, winners for the months of December, January, February, March, April, and May. Our December winner is Lori Thompson. She works in the math department. She's a 2-time cancer survivor, and she has coached many sports, including boys basketball. For the month of January, we have Mary Anderson. She does the Career Tech Ed. She is an early riser and wants to see every student in a cap and gown, choice ready when they graduate. Our next winner is our February winner, Vernis Koval. Vernis works as a paraprofessional in the district. Vernis is very organized with her thoughts and her workplace. She has helped many people achieve academic success in her years working. March's winner is Matthew Glendy. He works in the science department. He has taught at the high school for 7 years, and he graduated from NDSU. April's winner is Hillary Birch. She does technology support. Hillary is managing online learning while getting her doctorate. She also takes very good photos. Lastly, our May staff winner is Mel Schuar. She works in the MTSS field at our high school, and she loves going to Beans Coffee with her friends and is working to get her bachelor's degree. This has been your weekly segment of the Packer News. Make sure to have a safe and hygienic week, West Fargo.